and welcome to this week's What's Hot, and I do hope that you haven't been given a dull head by the Martini Menace. And for those of you who don't know what that is the anytime, any place, anywhere quarantine rules which have caught some of us, particularly those relaxing in Spain, on the hop. Well, with all this political confusion and last-minute travel guidance, travel stocks have indeed been thrown into despair. So we're seeing losses in cruise operator Carnival and airlines EasyJet and British Airways owner International Airlines Group. And the ever-hopeful Solar Steve is thinking long-term. He writes, "I simply cannot believe that we will not be back on planes and cruise ships within 3 to 5 years from now, and my bruised and battered investments will look a lot healthier." Now, what about IAG's acquisition of Spanish rival Air Europa? Well, according to Spanish newspaper Cinco Días, it writes that IAG wants to halve the price of its planned €1 billion acquisition. And we should learn more when IAG gives an investor update on Friday, the final day of the month. Now, one stock which looks like the travel share prices is Cineworld. Now, does the future of this stock rest on the August release of the film Tenet? Well, it is a spy film. The script took 5 years to write. It stars the greats John David Washington, Robert Pattinson, Michael Caine and Kenneth Branagh. And Investroid gives a summary as to why Cineworld will survive the pandemic. They write, "Studios cannot afford for cinemas to fail. Punters are eager to get back to the cinemas, and Cineworld has liquidity till June 2021. He writes, "Cinemas can make very good profit at 30% capacity." So there you go. The chat rooms are filled with the cultured, but rightly so. They're also filled with the contrarians. Let's have a look at this author, RS 2002, who points out the contrary. They write, "No net income for the last 4 months and an estimated $200 million cash burn since then. Legal proceedings pending against Cineworld brought forward by Cineplex for breach of contract. Billions in damage are being sought." Well, no doubt screenplay writers are churning out COVID-19 movie scripts by the dozen. But an interesting script is being played out by Open Orphan. The pharmaceutical services company on Tuesday announced a contract for a COVID-19 vaccine trial. And yes, everyone writes, will this give the company a maiden profit? Well, how often have we heard the following statement during lockdown? An amazing set of annual results. Those are the words of Games Workshop boss Kevin Roundtree, hailing the best year in the company's history so far. Now, you can once again see from these results, he writes, that our business and the Warhammer hobby are in good shape. Friday the 31st of July, remember that date because we will be witnessing a first. This is the first time that NatWest will report a set of numbers since adopting a new name. This is the company that used to be called Royal Bank of Scotland. Now, the other big question, apart from the name change, according to Hargreaves Lansdown equity analyst Nicholas Hayett, is around defaults. NatWest has a relatively large number of small business customers, so Nicholas writes we might expect a reasonably high level of defaults. It's early days though, and with significant provisions for bad loans already in place, more would be a bad sign. Well, it is sad times and more sad times for a Royal Bank of Scotland. It was born in 1727 and in 2007 it had £2.7 trillion worth of assets. Then, 1 year later, 2008 happened, lest we forget. And on that note, have a great week. I'll see you again, same time, next week.